Greetings to you all and welcome to Let's Play Jumper with me, Artega Omega. This is a game that was made by Matt Thorson, who is the proprietor of mattmakesgames.com, I think it's .com, where you can download this beautiful little game for free. Jumper is a series that comes from way back when, and it was made with GameMaker. I assume most people are quite familiar with GameMaker. It was one of the first games that I ever found made with GameMaker that was really good. It's a very solid platformer, and since it came out, Jumper has been made, Jumper 2 and Jumper 3 have also been made. And Matt himself has made a couple of other platformers which are interesting games. But I'm a big fan of Matt's work, and this game has some memories for me. So let's play it. Apologies for the weird line on the left. What happens in this game is that the window constantly resizes with every level, every cutscene, and my recording software can't quite work out where the edges of the window should be, so sometimes it clips in frame and out of frame as it tries to adjust. But it's not the end of the world. Anyway, we are missing vital plot here, and you'll notice one thing: we are severely in the future. We control Ogmo. And before we get started, I would like to say, yes, this looks exactly like Super Meat Boy. Yes, this severely predates Super Meat Boy. So don't blame Ogmo. Got to put my mouse out the way. But this is Ogmo. He's a red square. He can't crouch, but he can jump. And jumping is basically what this game is. Ogmo has one goal. He was created by scientists for no apparent reason. He was abandoned and never finished for no apparent reason. And after 116 years, he decided now is the time to escape for no apparent reason. Plot does not matter in these kind of games. Ogmo has a few moves at his disposal. He has walk left, walk right, jump, and his fabled double jump. These are all the skills Ogmo will ever need. Fortunately, there is the golden arrow, which resets his double jump in the air, giving him an extra jump. Just to be clear how this works, it resets your double jump. It doesn't give you an extra jump. So if I were to jump into 2 arrows, I wouldn't have 2 extra jumps. I'd still have 1 extra jump, because it would reset my double jump twice. You know what I mean? But I could jump in between the arrows and get an extra jump. Stage 1 is a tutorial stage, and I'm sorry, there's something we have to do here. You're supposed to wait for this platform so that you can jump on. Whoa, that was a failure. You're supposed to wait for this platform so that you can jump onto it and then ride it across at a steady pace. So you're actually supposed to go dum-de-tum, dum-de-tum, and over you go. And this is the tutorial stage. Nice floating Ogmo. So the game wants you to get a feel for, you know, what the platforms are and stuff. But it is possible to shortcut this level. It is possible, I promise. It's not this hard, seriously. There we go. And that's an important little tactic if you ever feel like speedrunning this game, which some people do. Blue platforms fall when you run over them. This is important. It will be used throughout the game, sometimes in puzzle elements, sometimes to create an artificial timer. You have to do things nice and quickly. Green blocks are boosting blocks. They just work like springs, say from Sonic, and shoot you straight upwards. Spikes kill you, electricity kills you. Pits kill you. At the end of every level, or sector I suppose they're called, you get some really sweet music, and also you get told how many times you fell. That is to say, fell in battle, died, not literally fell off the bottom. But here we go, into the main part of the game. Tips are at the top middle of the screen, or sorry, top left of the screen, as is stage number. And you will find out that this game saves, which is very nice. Don't have to worry about that. And there are no bugs in this game whatsoever. This game is so perfectly made. Forgive it for the bugs, okay? It's a fun game. And this is an important theme you're going to get used to. In order to make things look correct, electricity is always seen between two bricks. So here and here, here and here. That's just the way it is. So if you want to make a gap between electricity, the game uses this stuff, red electricity. And red means inactive, powered down, I don't know. It's not there, it's not a harmful tile at all. It's just there for visual effect. So that we don't have electricity beams that end in the middle of the sky. So there is nothing wrong with red at all, we can always just go straight through it. That didn't go so well. And as you can probably guess by the nature of this game, timing is not my strong suit. What's going to happen with this game is that the platforming is going to get very difficult. And I accidentally ran off the edge of that platform before jumping, so I had no double jump. But this is one of those games that prided itself on being very difficult. As you may be able to tell, we are on stage 2, which is the first real level after the tutorial. And you saw how difficult that little falling section I just did was. And, I mean, remember, we're on the first level, so some good stuff going to happen. This is a power switch, turns off all electricity in the level. Also there's some other things with doors that'll be coming up later, but for now all we need to know is electricity. You may have noticed a little freezing in the previous level. That happens whenever the music loops. So when the music track gets to the end, what happens is the game will freeze while it reloads the music file. And that's a shame, it's not very well programmed in that regard. And that freezing, it will undoubtedly kill me many, many times. Oh, it does count the different ways you die. Okay, my mistake, I forgot about that. Here is where the puzzle elements come into play. Without looking ahead of the level, I completely ignored the fact that I can't activate either of these two tiles or it will block my exit down here. So I'm going to have to jump over those, which isn't particularly difficult. And then bonk my head on them from underneath to complete the underpass. There we go. Wonderful stuff. And I can't remember what the electricity looked like when I turned the switch back on. Whoa, that was... Okay, well now we know. Now we know. I think that was a fairly decent attempt considering I didn't know what I had to do. I just assumed the game would try and trap me. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, we're not changing between modes. I like it the way it is. So one thing that I haven't mentioned about... I'm not making that. About electricity that you probably noticed is that it does the electricity flows, it does the doors, mechanical doors, but it also does the moving platforms. They stop moving when you flip the electricity. As is the gimmick for this level. This is not going to do. So you can probably see what's going on here. That's not going to do either. I have to get this crate onto the platform, move the platform into a good position, and then fall, regret the fact that I cannot get back up there, and then suicide down the pit. Tough level. There was the music looping. So yes, brown boxes are crates. They can be pushed twice in a row. That's not very good. The only thing special about these is that they can be pushed. And the little red box with an arrow on it down at the bottom, that is a pressure plate. Can be activated by Orcamo standing on it or by, well, anything standing on it really. So there's a lot of puzzles that involve putting crates onto pressure plates. That is not an effective way. Little secret, you can just stand on these. Doesn't really offer you any strategical advantage, but it's a nice little extra. The hitbox of the electricity isn't quite as wide as the hitbox of the blocks. skip that arrow. I wasn't ready to skip that arrow, and it led to my death, but there we go. This is where the game starts to get a little more taxing. What I need to do in this jump is because I don't have much headroom to work with, I have to jump and bonk here, or I'm going to hit the electricity above me. That's what I'm trying to do there. So Ogmo jumps just a little bit too high. I think this level is quite famous. There's 2 of these levels in the game. I want to say 2. Which are these rooms with just electricity grids in them. And you have to navigate your way through them. That's the first one down. Thanks, lag. But yeah, I think there's 2 of those levels which are just big electricity grids, and they're both quite well known for being difficult. A little bit of puzzling. So that thing up above is going to fall here, which means you need to be here. Now I need to go get the crate from up above. Dropping one of those is good. It's going to block the... Well, that wasn't so good. Dropping one of those blues is good because it's going to block the spikes. And I'll be able to run through that lower path momentarily. That's the good stuff. Ooh, okay, push out the wrong way. The game is very generous when it comes to pushing blocks. You don't have to be grounded in order to push or anything like that. That was very nearly the end of me. But we got through. So it's a very simple game as Jumper. All I have is jump and double jump. That's it. But from that, we get some very intricate levels, some very interesting physics, and just some very interesting gameplay. Like I said, it was made by who was then an amateur, who was just messing around in GameMaker. And he made a fun game. Really solid on the gameplay, if you ask me. Things are taking a grim turn here on 3.6. But that was always going to happen in this game. The further we get into it, the more difficult things are going to get. That was just sad. Ogmo coming up short. Alright, Ogmo, I believe in you this time. Nice lag. That wasn't your fault, Ogmo. I let you off. This time the pressure's all on, though. I'm expecting big things. That was anticlimactic. This is the one. I can feel it. I was talking about this one, not the previous one. This game is proving to be pretty taxing. Nice little feature in this game. Attention to detail and all of that. You'll notice that where 2 perpendicular electricity beams cross, they have a custom tile for that. So here and here you have sideways electricity meeting vertical electricity, and they actually have a 3-way electricity block. And there's a 4-way electricity block as well. That went well. I think my corpse just activated the pressure plate as I was falling through the level. Why am I struggling so much? Okay, this is it, we glitched and somehow wall jumped that platform. This is good. Okay, what's our next step? What's our next play? Last time I jumped too high here, so let's try there we go. There's the good stuff. Platform! I'm not risking that. I've got all day, it's fine. How you doing, platform? Why did you nearly throw me off, platform? So we got a good rate of impaled going here, but shocked is really starting to add up. The music is also really starting to kick into high gear. that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you'll join me in the next video. We shall continue with Jumper 1, and you can get some vague idea as how many levels there are in the game by the room remaining. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.